Page 6, Au Clair de la Lune. In this piece, let's just go over these symbols that we're using to make sure we understand it and the rhythm and everything. At the beginning here, you have the two staves, and at the beginning you have the treble clef in the top staff, or the G clef. The bottom staff has the bass clef, or the F clef, 4/4 time. So we're going to count to 4, and we're counting quarter notes, or there's an equivalent of 4 quarter notes in every measure. That's all. If you look at the first measure, you see 4 quarter notes in it, that's good enough. In the next measure, there's half notes. Well, there's 2 half notes to a quarter note, so that works out too. And if you look at the end of the first line, that's a whole note. Well, that's equal to 4 quarter notes, so that works out too. So everything's got 4 beats in it. Now you've got rests, of course. There's whole rests, and look at the left hand on the first line all the way across. There's a whole rest in each measure. A whole rest corresponds to a whole note, so it gets 4 counts. Or a whole rest can just represent a whole measure, so that works out too. Now, dynamic-wise, you have the P at the beginning. That means soft. Piano is soft, and that's the melody, which in this piece, it goes back and forth. In the first line, the melody's in the right hand because they're left-handed and playing anything. And the second line is the left hand. Third line, it's the right and then the left. And the last line is the right hand. Okay. That's going to be soft for the first line. And then in the second line, there's an MP for medium soft. So it's just a little louder than soft, not much. In the third line, there's an MF, and that's a little louder than MP, so that's a medium loud. MF, medium loud. Then the last line, you go back down to soft. So you'll have to decide how loud or soft you're going to be on here. There's no set, this is soft and this is sort of soft, and I don't know. Now at the end, the last measure at the bottom, you see the fermatas. It's a little half circle with a dot. It's called a fermata. It means to hang on to the notes longer. How longer? Well, it's up to you. It's a felt thing. How long do you think you should hold it on? When we do the play with me, I'm going to use a metronome, and when I use a metronome, I just double the value of the smallest note. Well, here in this measure, there's a whole note in the right hand, about a half note in the left. So the half note is the smaller of the notes. So I'm going to double the value of the half note and hold it for 4 counts instead of 2. And I'll just hold the right hand however many note beats I have to hold it to match what the left hand is doing. So both hands end at the same time. Just as well explain it all. You see these long curved lines? These are phrase lines. There's one over the whole first line and the whole second line, and then the third line gets 2 of them. It means connect the notes. It means play them the same, or play them connected. As connected as you can. But then when you get to the end of the first line and you end a phrase and you start a new phrase on the next line, lift up. So there's a little silence between the phrases. We need to know that we ended a phrase and started a phrase so you don't connect them. So the last note in the first line is an F. The next line, that note is an F at the left hand. Don't connect them. No, lift up a little early on the right hand so we get some silence before we go on. And you do that at the end of the second line, and then the third line, it's between the second and third measures. You're going to lift up for silence throughout the piece. Now, there's words in here. You sing it if you want. I ain't singing it, but you can sing it. It says it's moderato. Well, that's a moderate speed. Well, that's like loud and soft. I don't know. It's a range. It's what's moderate to you. It's a, I don't know. For me, moderate depends on the mood I'm in and the time of day it is and how many cups of coffee I've had or whatever. When we do the play with me, we're going to go really slow. And the purpose of the play with me is simply so that you can check your notes and rhythms. Play along with me so you see, are you playing the same note I'm playing at the same time I'm playing? That's it. So if you had a teacher in front of you, or with you, not in front of you, the piano's in front of you, the teacher's off on the side somewhere usually, then they would tell you if you hit a wrong note. They'll let you know. Believe me, they'll let you know. But if you don't have a teacher, how do you know? You know, it might sound okay and still be a wrong note. Been there, done that. So the play with me, I can help you sort of by telling you if you have a wrong note. You compare what you do to what I do. Yeah. So I'm going to give us 4 counts and let's play this. Your hands are, your right hand, you want your thumb on F. See the one, the thumb? And in the left hand, you see on the second line, third finger's on F here. So that's the position. I don't know how much sense that makes, but that's the position. And your left hand isn't going to stay there, and your right hand isn't going to stay there. This is just a start. Because when you finish the first line here, and then the second line, the left hand does its thing. Well, look at the third line. Well, now they want the little finger on the G in the third line, so now you got to come down here. Now you're in this position. And the left hand is coming down, they want the thumb on the G in the third line here. So now you're in this position. Well, in the fourth line, they don't tell you, but it's the same as the first line. So put your thumb on the F, the first note. So the fourth line, your right hand is back up to here. And the left hand for that last chord, it's an F chord, it's here. So you're in this position. So your hands are moving around a little bit. Just make sure your hand is where it needs to be before you need to play it. You got rests all over the place. You got plenty of time. While you're playing one hand, you can move the other hand. Now at the end, the very end, after the left hand plays the chord, they're showing a pedal. And that's the only place in this whole piece they're showing a pedal. And in my opinion, it's completely out of place. It's completely unnecessary. I would recommend you do not pedal this piece at all. No pedal at all. I'll give us 4 counts, so let's try this out together slowly. Put your hands where they go to start. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2 off.